Welcome to the Vista Family History Center video on using FamilySearch FamilyTree app. This is for the Android phone. There is a separate video for those of you who have an iOS phone. We're currently using version 3.4.3. If you already have the app on your phone, it will probably be automatically updated to that version, but you can check in the App Store if you feel that you might need that. So let's go into the app. As you open the app, it generally opens to a pedigree view of your family. From this pedigree view, you can click on any of the people that you see in the view. You can expand the tree and work your way up through the tree and get to whoever it is you're looking for. But I'd like you to go, first of all, to the top bar of the screen. To the left of the word pedigree are 3 bars, and when you press on those 3 bars, it opens up a menu, and this is the main menu of the app on the Android phone. You see that there are many things that you can do, but I would like to give you a challenge that you go onto the app, you play around, you click on everything, try some of the things. We're going to talk about a few of them, but we don't have time to cover them all. As you look toward the bottom of the menu, there's an option called Settings. When you click on the Settings button, you'll see a list of preferences. Something new in this version is that you can enable a fan chart view. And by touching the button, toggling the button on, turning it green, when you go back, you'll see that it now shows you a fan chart view rather than the tree view that you previously could see. At the bottom of the screen, there is a green button with 2 little lines through it. When you press on that, it opens up some filters for this fan chart. At the very top, you'll see it lists 4 generations, and the arrow beside it will allow you to open your fan chart to as many as 7 generations. This is my preferred method of getting into my tree because I like to see the relationships. This bar here above the 7 generations can be lifted up to enable you to see the options down below a little bit better. This current view is the family lines. There's also the birth country view, which is colored by the recorded place of birth. There's also a sources view. This view is a graded coloration of the chart. The darker the color, the more sources you have for that person. Moving that list to the left, we have stories. Likewise, this is a graded view based on the number of stories that have been recorded for a person. Photos, and then finally research help. Research help has possible duplicates, record hints, and also a purple option that will show you suggested or helpful hints that you might look for to expand your research. These are only hints. You really have to do the in-depth comparisons and research. Please do not just automatically attach a source to a person because it had a blue dot or the area was blue. You really need to do the research. So as we go back to our menu there at the top, let's talk about a few of these things. Ancestors with tasks will bring up a list of people who have given hints. Now again, these hints are not sure. You need to compare them. So let's look at one. If I go into William Burroughs here at the top, you'll notice that the blue dot is there by the circle where his picture might go, and I click on that blue dot and it will open up the hint. The hint then can be opened by pressing on the arrow button there to the right. Now it says that William Burroughs died in Bingham, Utah on the 21st of July, 1885. And that his father's name was John and his mother's name was Grace. We want to compare that to what we have in our tree. Now, on the left is the record, and on the right is what we have in FamilySearch. And so far, we compare his name. Yes, he indeed has the same name. He is male. His birth is listed as Cornwall, England. His death in both records, or in both places, is listed at the same date and place, which leads you to believe this may be our person. His father's name was John. His mother's name was Grace, which also matches our record. Yes, I can attach this record. You'll notice that at the bottom there's also an option to choose not a match. When you choose this option, you need to be prepared to give a reason for marking it as such, and it will be recorded so that if anyone else tries to attach this, they'll be notified that someone else has seen it and said it was not a match. You need to look very carefully and do not hesitate to go back. Skip attaching a record if you are uncertain. That gives someone else an opportunity to come in and look at the information, and perhaps they have better knowledge or different records that will help them know for sure whether this record matches the record, this person that you're trying to attach the record to. New to the system now is that they also list John and Grace, the father and mother, and you can attach this record to both of them, that they were real people and that was their name, but also that they are indeed the parents of William Burroughs. And so by clicking on John, it will take me, again, the record is on the left and his tree record is on the right. And as we go down, there's not much information until we get to the family information. His wife's name was Grace, and he indeed had a son, William Burroughs, who you can see about 5 entries down on the children. And so, yes, we can attach him to the document. Now, I'm going to do something a little different with the mother, just because. I can click on the mother here at the top, and it takes me to her record. And I'm going to, just for example's sake, say that I'm not certain. There's some question to it. You can hit the Done button, which is at the upper right-hand corner, and it will not attach her to this record. The computer will continue to give you this as an option later on, so you won't lose the opportunity, and perhaps somebody else might come along who has a little bit better information. So by clicking the Done button, it says, are you sure you want to leave? Yes, I'm sure I want to leave. And there I've added a source. There are many sources that the computer finds that can help you in filling out the details of your ancestor. The FamilySearch phone app allows you to do research on the phone. On a person's profile page, in the upper right-hand corner, there are 3 dots. When you click on those dots, you open another menu. Find is the same as Find in the menu on the left. It will take you to the page where you type in a name or an ID number. View My Relationship will just show kind of a direct line pedigree chart between you and this person. Search Records is what I wanted to make sure you knew. You can click on Search Records and it will open up FamilySearch, Ancestry.com, MyHeritage, Find My Past, and GeniaNet, just like it does on the desktop app. If you have access to those, you just click on them and you'll go and find records from their collection. If you're not familiar with the free access that is available, there's free access to members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as well as free access from the Carlsbad Library. If you do not know of that access, please enter a comment below and we'll get in touch with you to give you that information. Again, back to the menu, you can view the tree of this person, You can look for possible duplicates. You can download memories. You can look at recent changes. And if you were the person who entered this person in the tree, then you can delete the person. This symbol here, in between the multiple screens and 3 dots, is a recents button. And when you click on it, it brings up a list of the recent people that you have been to on your tree most recently. Another feature of the phone app is that when you're in a list view, you can press on the name of person. You press and hold. A menu will pop up showing view details, view my relationship, open in new screen. This allows you to move from this list view to their details or show you who this person is in relationship to you, and also allows you to move to a different screen if you are using multiple screens. Coming back to our main menu, let's go into the pedigree view again. So we're going to hit the 3 bars in the upper left-hand corner, and then I'm going to tap on pedigree, and that will take me to my pedigree view. And I'm going to expand my generations to 7, and you'll understand why in just a minute. We've talked about ways you can work with your ancestor directly through tasks associated with them. But some of you may find that your ancestors don't have a lot of tasks. And so if you go back, say 1, 2, 3, 4 generations to a second great-grandfather, or even 5 generations to a third great-grandfather, and click on their name, it will take you to their profile page. And then up on the right-hand side, you'll notice these 3 dots. Those 3 dots open a new menu, and we're going to click on those. Again, this menu is quite long, but we're going to focus on this third item in the menu, and that is Descendants with Tasks. We click on that. It will bring up descendants of this particular great-grandfather, and you can here adjust the number of generations by clicking on the arrow up to 5 generations. Now for me, that doesn't add any additional hints, but you can do descendant research or help with descendants, cousins that you wouldn't normally see by going directly up through your tree. This is starting up in the tree and coming back, and you can add sources for them as well. The computer will provide hints for any of those. You can follow the same procedure that we did with ancestors with tasks to evaluate these. Going back, we're going to hit the arrow to go back. Takes us to the person, then we're going to hit the 3 bars and go back to our list. I want to talk about another new feature that they have on FamilySearch. It's called My Contributions. When you tap on My Contributions, the first page you'll see is a bar graph showing the last 7 years of work that you have contributed to FamilySearch. This is all things that have been contributed. You'll notice that all is highlighted here, grayed, and this is all the work. Obviously, the last couple of years have been much more productive for me than especially 2015. But as you go across, this specifically indicates the sources that you've attached. Then the memories that you've attached, those are pictures, documents, stories, anything like that. And then this person's tells you how many people you have added personally to the tree that are unique, that are new, that others have not already added. Then going back up to the top, the second option is changes. And this gives you a list of people for whom you have made changes. And you'll notice that William Burroughs, who we worked on, is listed as one of those, and his father John. It will give you the last 300 changes you have made, and this could be an important place to remember if you are needing to get back to someone you just worked on. The last option in my contributions are private persons, and this is a list of living people. I'm not going to click on it because it is living people, and to preserve the privacy of the people I have added, I'm not going to click on that. But these are living people that only you can see. For example, my children, my mother, are only available on my tree. They would not show up on another person's tree unless that person also added them. So if you have living people that you put on, this is a way to find them or locate them quickly if you should need to get back to theirs. All right, going back to our menu, I want to mention there is this Family Histories Activities. This is an excellent resource. It lists a lot of interesting and meaningful ways that you can engage in family history without doing research. Going back down to the Settings menu now, we're going to click on Settings again, and we enabled our fan chart, but if you go down to the bottom of the list, it says Enable Multiple Screens, and I want to toggle that on. The reason I want to talk about this is because many times in your research, you would like to compare two different windows at the same time, and now you can do that. So once you've enabled this, you go back out of the settings. In your main menu, a new icon has been added at the bottom of the list. This is your Screens button, and it will enable you to go to a page where it will show you the screens that you have opened. I'm going to go back here to my pedigree, and you'll see this icon up in the top. I'm going to go into my tree and tap on Anna Katrine Pedersdotter. Then by tapping on the screens icon, it will add her to a screens list. The three dots to the side will allow you to rename, and you have to delete from the top. You can't delete the pages on the bottom, you have to delete from the top. Then I'm going to do the plus symbol, which takes me back into the program, and I'm going to go to Ancestors with Tasks. And you'll see here that Anna Katrine Pedersdotter appears on this list, and so I'm going to tap on her name, which opened up a new profile page. And by tapping the Screens button, I now have both of those pages available to me. As you tap on each picture, you can move back and forth between the two pages, and you return to that screen with both windows by tapping again on the screens at the top of your phone. If you want to rename them to make them easier for you to remember, just tap on the three dots and hit rename, and you can type in a new title. In presenting this at Roots Tech, they mentioned that you could open as many as 5 pages. I've found that you need to really spend some time practicing this and getting comfortable with it. It is not as easy to use on the Android phone as it is on an iOS iPad or iOS phone. But it is a neat feature, and they are working on making the Android interface a little more user-friendly. But this is an exciting possibility for our research in this FamilySearch app. So going back to our main menu, there is a help menu down at the bottom, and I'd like to click on that right now. It has lots of places for you to get some answers to your questions. I hope that you'll use it as you work with this new app and that you'll have great success in doing some family search and maybe even some research on your smartphone. Thank you for your time.